A very good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the launch of FutureSkills Prime 24 Hours AI Challenge, a chance to learn about practical applications of AI tech and win amazing prizes. My name is Amrita from FutureSkills Prime, the national technology skilling platform, which is a joint initiative of Ministry of Information Technology and Electronics with NASSCOM. The term artificial intelligence was first coined in 1956, and since then, it has progressed to a status where it is estimated by 2025, 30% of outbound marketing messages will be synthetically generated, which means personalized advertisements focused on our deepest fears and desires. And this is the tricky generative AI tech that we are going to explore today. So, without taking any more of your time, let me introduce the speakers for the day. We have Sridevi Sira. She's the Deputy Director, Lead Academia for NASSCOM FutureSkills. Smita Kumaran, she is the Lead Marketing for NASSCOM FutureSkills. We have Karthikeyan Raja, who is the Chief Technology Officer from OpenWeaver. And we have Shmita Ramkumar, the Director, Partners and Community OpenWeaver. Our valued partner for this amazing competition is OpenWeaver, which is a SaaS tech company changing the way the world builds digital. Headquartered in New York with operations across US and India, OpenWeaver's mission is reinventing digital realization and has invested in a multi-year roadmap for digital development enablers. Welcome everyone once again. I'd like to remind you to towards the end for some more exciting information on free learning opportunities from NASSCOM. Now, I would request Sridevi to share her thoughts on how AI is the next game changer. Over to you, Sridevi.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. And, thank you so much for taking out your precious time. And I am going to assure you, you will enjoy not just this conversation that we're going to have today, but of course, you will have a great time when you participate in the challenge that we're talking about. But before we move on, I think I'll take the context to what Amrita was actually talking about in 1956. That's the first time that the coining of artificial intelligence has actually happened. I think we go back a little more and you look at Alan Turing, and while he presented the first thought after the World War II, the first question that was asked by Alan Turing was, can machines think? I think that laid a seed for artificial intelligence. And over the years from 1956 onwards, we started hearing this word artificial intelligence. And today we are here, which has actually taken our lives to your total new paradigm, I must say. We are hearing artificial intelligence has penetrated. We are experiencing artificial intelligence day in and day out in our lives. The term artificial intelligence is something which is going to take off the majority of the work burden from our shoulders. That's what is a very common thought process about talking about artificial intelligence. Of the various multiple avatars that artificial intelligence has, one of it is a generative AI. It is one of a disruptive technology that can generate artificial artifacts that are preciously relied on humans, delivering innovative results without biases of human experiences and thought processes. Making machines to think more humane is something which is expected to be one of the major outcomes of what we are experiencing today. Some key facts around us, if we really want to see why is it so important for us to think about these disruptive technologies, some data points will definitely help us look in the right direction. By 2025, generative AI will develop at least about 10% of the data produced from less than 1% of the industry. This is something which is actually telling us where to look for. By 2027, few years from now, 30% of the manufacturers will be using generative AI to increase the product development and the efficiencies of it. 2024, I think about 50% of the largest low-code, no-code development platforms will provide text to code functionality in artificial intelligence use. By 2025, I think 30% of our outbound marketing messages from large organizations will be synthetically generated. These are all interesting points for all of us to know. And another data also calls out by 2025, 20% of procedural code professionals will have retrained will have to be retrained because generative AI will be cannibalized their core skills and make them their market values to be enhanced. If we look at if this is the demand and this is what is going to happen in years to come, where are we standing at this point in time? How is the ecosystem reacting to this, and how are people preparing themselves and their organizations for this? Do we have enough skills? Is there any gap? If we need to really understand that, I would like to draw your attention to the skill gap report that was published in the recent times. 40% of the organizations using AI technologies have projects planned or they are having it in production. However, more than about 51% of them have very clearly said they don't have the right mix of skilled AI talent in-house to bring their strategies to life. What is it telling us? The thoughts are there, the wherewithal is there, but appropriate skill set is definitely not available at this point in time. Indeed, a lack of skilled talent was cited by, as one of the major barriers to progress in this AI journey by various organizations, and they have all taken up key initiatives to ensure that this goes in the right direction. If you look at the total demand for AI and big data analytics roles in talent, especially in India, is expected to be around 510,000 and about 8 lakh people from 2018 to 2021. This is the expected increments that we are talking about. We must not forget the point that COVID has come in during this phase, and from 2019 we are actually seeing and witnessing the changes that we wouldn't have seen in next 10, 12 years to come. That is something that we've already experiencing at this point in time. Given all this, we at NASSCOM, we understand that there needs to be something strategically done. So we have created this particular platform called FutureSkills Prime, wherein we are talking about how do we skill every individual of this country on emerging technologies, especially so on artificial intelligence. In this direction, we are also looking at not just ensuring that people get trained and skilled. Is there a possibility to give them a more of hands-on experience and exposure? Major initiatives were taken up by us in the recent times, and we are thankful to our partners, OpenWeaver and the other teams which have actually come forward to help us conceptualize this 24-hour AI challenge. Through this, we want to ensure that every participant of this challenge gets a hands-on experience and exposure and get their ideas that they already have into an innovative ecosystem. You will be contributing to the ecosystem, and your thoughts, your ideas are hugely welcome by us, and we are waiting to hear what you have to offer to the IT industry. Last but not the least, I would like to see how many of you actually earn these digital badges and show it to the world. The way that you can show the world about your learning, your experience, your exposure is grab these badges and share it on LinkedIn. That's where the IT industry is there, and they are actually looking at how many people are getting skilled and trained in these technologies, and probably that is one step taking you ahead towards your dream careers. Organizations are looking to see you there. I'm sure you are excited to show them your talent. All the best to every one of you. Back to you, Amrita.
Thank you so much, Sridevi. That was amazing. We are very all charged up. Smita, now may I request you to introduce the challenge, and please share with us your thoughts as well.
Hi, thank you, Amrita. So from what Sridevi was telling, I think you all know that AI is going to be a big part of all of our futures going forward, right? Now, the only question is, whenever you see those startups creating a huge IPO with millions of dollars or funding and all those things, you wonder, why didn't I get this idea? Or some of you might be thinking, oh, I had this idea only if I actually got to implement it. So that brings us to the million-dollar question, right? Is the idea important or the implementation important? Should you really know how to implement an AI technology, or you should just have an idea and get someone to implement it for you? So I'm sure most of us are in that kind of a thing where maybe some of us have got good ideas, some have good implementation skills, but don't know what to build, right? You may be able to even build to discover comets or send rockets to sky, but you never had that idea. Some of you may be having that idea. So if you have both, very good, all the best to you to win this challenge. If you have one of them, this is your opportunity, because here, if your idea is very important, we are going to show you how to build an AI, generative AI kind of an implementation very quickly, right? That's what this challenge can bring to you. Let's say you know exactly how to use the technology and get something up, then you can take up a harder challenge and bring in a fantastic offering. Maybe that will become the next big startup in India also, right? So that's what this challenge is about. So if you have just idea, if you have implementation, whatever it is, this challenge is for you. You don't have to. And one more thing is, it's not about spending 24 hours to do this challenge. Maybe you just have a fantastic idea which can be implemented in very few hours, and you still walk away with the prize. And even for those who may not end up winning the prize, practicing in this is a much higher price than even winning it, right? So make sure you submit whatever it is. You please submit and make our job difficult, so that on 10th when we meet, we say that, oh, we had to spend midnight oil for the last 2 days to get to find who the winner is. All the best, and not to forget, download the badge from the challenge page and show it off, saying you're participating, and get your friends also to participate. Thank you. Back to you, Amrita.
Thank you so much, Smita. We have Shmita now joining us, who will take us through the exact modalities of the challenge. Over to you, Shmita.
Great. Thank you so much, Amrita, Smita, and Sridevi. I think that was lovely, the stage that you set for us, Sridevi, and very clearly from the statistics you shared. And it's very, very clear that technology is everywhere. And our journey towards artificial intelligence and what role AI will play in our lives tomorrow came out beautifully. I think those statistics really helped. So people are building applications. I mean, they're building applications. If they don't know how to, they're learning how to build applications, but the world is moving in that direction. And I think as OpenWeaver, we are very happy and in a way proud of this collaboration and partnership we have with NASSCOM FutureSkills Prime, because you are leading that journey through enabling, being the enabler for people to get skilled, becoming India's, as you rightly said, technology skilling hub. And I think we are just proud to be part of that journey and associate to take that journey a step further and provide all our learners with an experiential learning experience of sorts. A platform with our products gives everybody the space and the opportunity for them to actually come practice and build these applications from scratch using what OpenWeaver has to offer, thereby really putting that learning that you're offering into action. So thank you to all of you from NASSCOM FutureSkills Prime for this collaboration. And now I'm very happy to talk to you a little more about what this 24-hour AI challenge is all about. To make it easy for everyone, I'm just going to go through a couple of very simple slides that will give you all an idea of where are we going with this AI challenge. So for us at OpenWeaver, I think when we looked at collaborating with NASSCOM and with FutureSkills Prime, and we came up with this topic, it was very relevant, because in OpenWeaver, what we do is we have a community, and this is one of our community initiatives where we have a lot of people like you, young senior developers, just technology enthusiasts who come together and who share and collaborate with each other to see how they can reuse open source software to do something good in the world. And this is a step in that direction. So as part of our community initiatives, we thought it will be great to pick up a topic that that all of you can contribute to, but also a topic that has been associated with a lot of negativity, right? I mean, especially over the last 2 years, all that we went through, we know what fake news has done to all of us, and we've been consumers of it in a way. So with that, I'd just like to talk a little more about how we came into this journey. So with OpenWeaver, as Amrita mentioned, we are a SaaS technology company, and we are helping over 1 million developers worldwide build their ideas faster. And the way we'd like to do it is we believe we're reinventing digital realization. And very simply, we'd like to improve the way applications are built in the world. And the way we do that is by combining artificial intelligence and public domain knowledge. And this combination, I think, helps us leverage how we can deliver smarter ways to build the digital world of tomorrow. And this pretty much, I think, leads us or gives us a way into what we are looking at doing today in collaboration with FutureSkills Prime and Open Weaver. How are we going to bring this 24-hour AI challenge to life? So to get started, all of this is going to live for the next 24 hours. This challenge is going to live on our community platform, and that will be live when we finish this quick orientation. This orientation is going to walk us through 5 key elements of, so what is the challenge statement? What is the context about? That's the first thing we'll cover. And then we'll move into talking more about the guidelines. We've got a really nice starter kit for you that makes it exciting and also a little easy for you to get started on making a few submissions. And we're also going to give you a lot of sample examples of what it would look like for you to make these submissions across different experience levels. And then finally, we'll talk about the awards and prizes as well. So in terms of our challenge statement, I think it's very clear. Today, we're going to be focusing for the next 24 hours on combating this problem of fake news. I think fake news has been there ever since the printing press was invented. And since the print media came in, we've been consumers of fake news. But ever since internet and social media kicked in, I think that has just taken a completely different form. It's blown out of proportion where we've all, in a way, become consumers of fake news. And sometimes, even without our knowledge, end up sharing fake news and distributing it and become part of that cycle. So what it has done to us is, I think it's a menace where it has interfered and disrupted anything from, I think, like topics like COVID, I think was a clear example. But from something like national elections or local elections, right up to something as global as climate change and the world economy, all of this is being disrupted and being affected very clearly by the spread of fake news. So today's challenge is going to focus on what can you do as participants, as students, as developers, as people in the space where either you are a technology enthusiast or you possibly you're not in the tech space, but still would like to contribute with your ideas. What would you do to combat this problem of fake news? And how can you build a use case, or how can you use AI and natural language processing to be able to build a fake news detection engine? Or what are your ideas and thoughts in general about how we can combat this problem of fake news? So I think that is going to be our larger challenge statement today, which is clearly, what is your idea or solution to tackle the problem of fake news using natural language processing? And can you build a use case on this for us? So with that specific challenge statement, we would really like all of you to kind of take this as a call to action and be part of the group of enthusiasts who are wanting to combat this problem. So do join us, and congratulations for all of you who are already here, which means you are interested, you're excited. We've got over 700 people who are taking this as your cause for the next 24 hours. So thank you for being heroes, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Smita. That was amazing. So we are getting a couple of questions on how to download the badge. I have shared a link of the landing page, and the badge can be downloaded from there. And I would also like to tell everybody that we have quite a few people on YouTube also. So we have almost 1,000 people attending with us today. Thank you and best of luck, everybody. Over to you, Karthikeyan.
Yeah, I think we're going to complete a few more points about the challenge, and then I'll hand it over to Karthikeyan. Thanks, Amrita.
Thanks.
So, so the next step is, now you know the challenge statement. How do you get started? And my colleague Karthikeyan will walk you through this in the after a few minutes, where, as I said, we've developed a really interesting, a very simple, easy to use Candy starter kit that you can use and kind of work through multiple different examples that we have provided you. And these examples we've provided for people who are absolute novices in technology. Technology is not your thing. You still have a way you can participate and make a submission, right up to people who are absolute technology enthusiasts and coding experts, and you would like to invent and innovate, and you have that freedom to do that as well. So this is a challenge for everybody across the spectrum. So please do participate and make your challenges. Very quickly, coming to the submission guidelines, as you're aware, it's a 24-hour challenge. So the deadline for this is by 6 p.m. tomorrow. There is going to be a sharp close to that 6 p.m. deadline. So please make sure you participate and submit. Submission is key because all of you who submit will receive certificates. So submission is absolutely key, even if it's going to be just an idea or right up to a complete use case solution, whatever it is, please ensure you submit to be able to receive your certificates. The submission form is fairly simple and straightforward, and I will walk you through that in just a bit. So it's going to be a very straightforward submission form with just 5 questions. The first 2 questions are the only 2 questions that we've made mandatory, given that we have people across the spectrum. So what's your idea? Please describe that, and what problem are you trying to solve? And then we've got 3 more questions for people who would like to really use the starter kit that we've provided and possibly submit something to us in terms of images, photos, video recordings, screen recordings that you may have of running the application, or creating a Candy kit similar to our starter kit and sharing it back with us. So that's going to be your submission form. Okay. And I think the last part of it I would like to cover before handing it over to Karthikeyan is going to be the fact that we have a 24-hour support on our community available for you guys. So whatever it may be, your questions will definitely be answered by us for the next 24 hours. We've got a very comprehensive FAQ section on the community page that I will walk through towards the end of this. We also have a 24/7 chat as well as a call support. So if you're finding it difficult, you have a question regarding the challenge or the starter kit, or you would like to just know a little more about how you can use the starter kit and create something much bigger, we are going to be here for you. So that is a very key highlight of this challenge, that you're going to have support all through. And we're going to kind of help you make that submission possible by 6 p.m. tomorrow. Please remember that you have to sign up on the community to be able to use the chat and the reply feature. So it's important that you sign up before you begin the challenge so that you have us to support you all the way through. And this challenge will end at 6 p.m. tomorrow, following which we are going to have a judging panel of 4 experts in both the technical as well as the non-technology space. And we're going to be taking a look at all of the applications you receive and paying weightage to 2 key things. One is how relevant is your idea and how important is your idea in today's world, and what are you looking at solving the problem with. So that is one key thing we're going to look at, the relevance of your idea when it comes to this topic. And then the second key thing is, are you able to submit to us a workable solution, either through videos, images, or a starter kit itself. And anything across those 2 is what the panel is going to be looking at. And this panel consists of people from NASSCOM, FSP, as well as OpenWeaver, as you can see. We're really excited to take a look at all of your submissions, and it's going to be a working weekend for us, but I'm sure it's going to be worth all of it. And lastly, about the awards and results, all of you will receive a certificate if you make a submission. So please be sure to submit your entries to receive your certificate. And you can also download the FSP badge from our landing page, as Amrita just mentioned. And we've got some really cool prizes for all of you to win, including some Amazon vouchers. So you can join us back on the 10th to know the results, and it'll also be on social media. But now I'm going to hand it over to Karthikeyan, my colleague, who will walk you through the most key part, which is the starter kit and some of the sample solutions, submissions. So that will get you an idea of how you can get started. Over to you, Karthikeyan.
Thank you, Smita, for setting the context and giving us that orientation. So now, quickly, I will give a brief on the AI, generative AI, and also I'll walk you through the Candy Starter Kit as to how it can help you get a head start in completing the solution on this challenge, right? So AI, like all the earlier speakers emphasized from Sridevi, Smita, and Shraddha, it's everywhere, right? I mean, all the applications, all devices are predominantly now having AI. And without AI, life is becoming more and more difficult only, right? So, and it's going to grow. So earlier we have had AI requiring a lot of compute that was probably available only in the cloud. But now even the edge devices, as well as all your peripherals, IoT devices, they are also coming up with microcontrollers, which have embedded tiny machine learning models, which can run as small as 100 KB of size models. So there has been tremendous improvement in the way technology has evolved, how the models have been compressed, how the algorithms have evolved, taking AI to all the spheres of our life, and all enterprises across all domains are using it, from healthcare to retail to finance, manufacturing, everywhere you can see it, right? I mean, your laptop batteries, your car, your digital devices, all of them have embedded AI going forward. And what is really making this AI work, right? I mean, there are three large components in any AI functionality to work. Important things, there are algorithms which actually play a major role in creating the model as well as doing the after action of it. So it could be a prediction or any other forecasting, or it could be any other generation action as well. Data is also required. The huge amount of data, algorithms are kind of data hungry. So with the advent of smartphones as well as IoT, the availability of data has not been a problem, but there's enormous amount of work that is required in data engineering to consume the data, transform the data, and make it into a format that is ready to use by the algorithms to create the models, right? And is so much of sophistication and technology innovation, is it available freely or not? And so that's a big question that every one of us has, like, are they really complex to learn? But most of these algorithms, models have been abstracted into knowledge sources that are available to us through open source. So there's available freely to everyone. There's a huge thriving ecosystem of open source that is making this AI really democratized, right? I mean, so everyone who has maybe minimal knowledge of AI itself, to people who are really experts, there are resources for all of them to consume these open source assets and then create the AI applications. Just give me a minute. I think I missed to share those. Deck. Yeah, the deck should be up now. Next is the generative AI, right? So generative AI is one of the special applications of AI, where there's an AI generator engine which creates assets from inputs as well as pre-trained models. So far, you could use AI to do any kind of prediction, but generation is one of the exciting things that has actually evolved over last many years. So what can it generate? It can generate any textual content, any of the media content. It can also generate software application code, which is very useful to us developers as well. So where do we see it in action, right? I mean, text, a lot of articles, stories, scripts, Even chatbot responses could be generated using the AI generator. Images, a lot of applications you would have used smartphone apps. You would have used to create avatars, digital avatars to create new enhanced images of your pictures. It can even kind of take old pictures and then create a high resolution from them as well. And audio and video, again, tremendous improvement there. Earlier we used to hear a very metallic computer sound, but now you can train the engine with your own voice, right? I mean, and if you have a script to be converted into audio, you feed it and you will hear it back in your voice. Same like video has seen tremendous improvement. There are a lot of gaming companies, lot of film production companies who use these technologies to create a lot of very realistic computer graphics, right? Lot of sceneries, lot of environments that are made available by creating through only using these computer algorithms, but they look very, very realistic to us. The last piece is code, software code. It has come to a stage where AI is able to generate code by just giving a description of what the functionality could be. It could be any logical creation of a code. It could be even a UI that is being generated as well. And the amount of sophistication with which all these models are being made available is very, very huge. So there's these models are built with parameters running into billions, but at the same time, they are also made available to us free in the form of open source assets. So with this AI technologies being available everywhere, so earlier with the advent of smartphone, it was mobile app first building applications, but now without AI first building applications, it's very difficult to actually release any new idea, any functionality that you want people to use. So what goes into building an AI applications? Okay, three large activities. So one is making the training data itself. Okay, so a lot of raw data is available. There's huge amount of pre-processing that is going to be done. There's a lot of cleanup. There's a lot of transformation that is required to be done before we get to a stage where the training data is getting ready for the algorithms. And this is the most important aspect, because training data is the input. What you feed in determines the quality of what you will get as the output. So the better analysis that you do on your training data to ensure that it is having the right balance, the right quality, the better your models will be. So the algorithm and models again are software components which consume this, create the model, and after that you can take, depending on your use case, could be a predictive, could be a generative, as we saw earlier. And this entire AI pipeline, okay, so what we are doing is that we are giving a Candy starter kit which has all this pipeline built in. That way you don't have to create from start for this particular challenge. So the starter kit is available on the Candy website. The links are available in the community platform as well. So once you go to the Candy website, you will, with this particular link on the AI fake news detection kit, you will see this particular page. It has details about this kit, what components it has, and you have a quick link to actually download it and then install it within one click, right? So along with that one-click installer, you will also have deployment instructions, very simple instructions for it to get installed very easily. It takes about 5 minutes, less than that, depending on your internet bandwidth. After you get it installed or deployed, you can follow this set of instructions to run it. Again, depending on the use case, you will have a very clear instructions on which particular notebook to run for what type of use cases. All of these are described very well here. And following it, you also have reference to what the original solution source is, what are the different libraries that this particular kit has been using. And in the end, you also have a troubleshooting section. So in case you run into any issues, you can refer this troubleshooting section. And you can also reach us in this particular community link and then post a question So as Smita said earlier, we are available 24/7 to provide any type of support, any questions, technical, non-technical. Feel free to go to this community page and then post your question and you should get a response. So once you install this, download and install this kit, it goes into your, if you're using a Windows machine, it will go into your downloads folder and then it will sit here. So you will have one batch file which you execute and it will complete the entire kit installation. Okay, so after installation, you will have a folder with this name, fake news detection main. It has this contents. Basically, it will have a bunch of Jupyter notebook files, which are the actual AI ML code that is available. And then you have 3 CSV files here, which holds the data. So one file will hold the data for training, the other file will hold the data for testing, and then the other file, the output file, has the output with the prediction. So once you have installed it and then you run it, you will get to see the Jupyter notebook page getting opened up on a browser. So this is how it will look like. And on this home page of Jupyter notebook, you can see your different notebooks that are available here. So the first one is a fake news starter kit, which you can use to execute your use cases. So there's a layout of the starter kit. And I also walk through some of the sample submission scenarios that you can actually try out. So the first one is about demonstrating the prediction of a fake news, whether the news is fake or real, with your own news articles. Okay, so once you have this starter kit installed and running, you can go to this particular Jupyter notebook, and if you open this starter notebook, you will see this particular notebook getting opened up. So here at the top, you have this different variables, which is what you need to change. So which is what you can refer if you know, if you want to know which file to change, right? So the training file again is training, the suffix, and then you have the testing file. So what you will do is that for this particular use case or for particular example of submission, what you're asking is that you can feed your own articles here. Okay, in this CSV file, the news text is the label. From row 2 onwards, you can enter your own articles, and then you go to your Jupyter notebook, and then you can run all cells. Okay, so once you run all your cells, all the cells that are available here, it will do the training as well as it will actually even execute it. Okay, so once the prediction is done, the output will be saved into a file, again a CSV file, which is having output as a suffix. So what are entries that you have added, they will also come along in the result file with the label, whether they are fake or real, and also will have a probability score attached to them. So this particular use case is all about being able to install the kit, being able to execute, as well as provide your own news articles to test whether this is fake or real. And you have one of the notebooks doing all these functionalities, right? If you go to the second example, where you can choose to train the model with your own choice of news articles from any other domain as well. So if you are interested to showcase training the model with, let's say, healthcare news, something like COVID, or if you want to do something on other domains, right, of your interest, you can take those articles and then create a training data which goes into this particular file, train. Okay, so there are 3 files here. So train is one of the files. So with this training file, you can actually provide the different news articles text, the text content, and you need to label them whether they are fake or real. So this is the input to the model. This is input to the AI algorithm, which will create the model. Okay, so once you create this particular file, then you go back and then run this notebook again and be sure to have this train model flag as true. Okay, by default it is false, because it comes with a pre-trained model. If you want to change it and then you want to train it with your own data, enter your data in that particular format and then come back here and then change it to true and then execute all the cells. What it will do is that it will train the model as well as execute the prediction, and the same output will be available in the CSV file. If you go to the third example, where collection of this training data is actually a humongous task as well. So you need large amounts of data for training the engine, which will give you better prediction, better confidence scores as well. So if you want to automate it, there are different ways. So one way is to create a web scraping module, which can take any URL of a web news website and then go to that website, collect the news text automatically, and you can choose maybe a fact checker website like Factly, okay, and check whether that particular news article is real or fake and add that to label. Or if you want to only get the news text, you can get the text and then you will have to manually also add the labels as well. So try as much as automation possible. So this particular notebook, articles_scraper, is going to provide you a ready-to-use code which can go to that particular website, crawl through all the articles, and then also provide what kind of labels could be attached to this news articles. And right now this is using the Factly, but you can change the URL. You can edit some of this minor code that is available for you to fetch the right news text as well as fetch the right label as. After this, you write it to a training file like I showed earlier. So this is the format. And then again, you go back to that first notebook that we had. You can run all the cells. It can train and then also be available to predict as well. So you can use any of the domain that you want and then automate this kind of building the training data. The other use case or sample submission could be to create very deep visual dashboards which can provide deeper insights into what kind of data is being used in this application. Okay, so that is also available as a notebook here. So if you go to the articles visualization notebook, we have included two libraries to create visual charts on different metrics. So one sample that we have attached to show is what is the distribution of the training data itself. Okay, the training data needs to have some amount of balances between the real as well as fake. So you can do this check, and as well as once the prediction is done, how distributed the prediction is as well. So you can create different visual charts. You can use different dashboard applications also, and then create such visualization which shows different aspects of your data. So you could use something like a heat map also to show what kind of distribution on the confidence scores is also there. The sample submission 5 is more about making this fake news detection as an API with which you can integrate into any application that you want to create. For example, you can create a Chrome extension or a browser extension and then integrate this API. Thereby, if I visit a particular website, you can directly check all the articles and then give indications they are real or not. It can be any other applications also. It could be a some other application that you could use as a service within WhatsApp or Twitter or any other custom application that you want to do. So if you want to expose this as an API, you go to the starter notebook as well as see one of the variables here, expose as API. So this ensure that this particular API variable is turned on as true, and then after that you will see this particular section of the code which will actually enable it to run as an API, REST API at this particular URL. Okay, so you can use this URL, the input format, the response format is all provided. You can use this and then integrate it into your application to give a real-time feel of using this service as well. So that's about integrating into your application. So till now, whatever we saw, the sample examples from 1 to 5. All of this code is available within the notebooks. You can use them to get a head start and then modify as you wish. Do we have to, restrain to only these 5? Not at all. If you are having a very innovative idea that you are really wanting to implement with respect to detecting this fake news or doing anything with this fake news problem, you are free to do so. You can create your own code from the ground up. You can create your model. You can choose any data set that you want, and then you can try out. So you can maybe change the different algorithms. You could choose, to use an encoder. You could use different algorithms for classification, or you can use different data types itself. This is what we have seen as text. Maybe you want to try out with images as well. So you can bring models that are getting trained on images and should be able to detect if these images are machine generated or are they human generated or are they real or fake. So any other use case, any other idea that you are passionate about and you are wanting to bring your imagination to reality, you are free to do so. So with that, I wish you all the best in this challenge, and thank you. I'll hand it back to Smita.
Thank you so much, Karthik. So we've been receiving a lot of questions, and just before we head into the question answer round, I would like to first share with you that the platform, our challenge is now live. So the 24-hour AI challenge is now live. Please go ahead to community.openweaver.com to access the challenge. That's where you will find everything that you need for this challenge. I'm going to repeat that again, and it's going to be on chat as well. So please go ahead and visit the challenge platform. This is the only official challenge platform, which is community.openweaver.com. When you get to that platform, you will see bold and upfront that the challenge is now live. You could either click there to enter the challenge contest page, or there is an entire category called the 24-hour AI challenge where you have everything that you need for this challenge. So if you click on this now live join the challenge, this is the main contest page. Everything that Karthik and I covered today is on this page. So you have the context here. You also have the challenge statement that we went through. You have a comprehensive section on how you can get started, which also includes the Candy starter kit. All you have to do is just click, or even better, right click and open in a new tab. The minute you right click and you open in a new tab, you will be able to see the starter kit, and that starter kit has all the instructions that you need. All the different submission examples that Karthik walked us through, everything is here, and they are all linked to the different resources that you may need. A step-by-step guide as to how you can do every single submission, sample submission, is also there. So please go ahead and visit the challenge page, which is now live and open, community.openweaver.com. And that will take you through everything that you need. It also has the submission guidelines for everyone who's been asking about where the submission form is. It's right here. Again, click and you should be able to see the Google form and you can submit your answers. From this page, you can also connect to our support channel. So when you click here, it will take us to our FAQs and support. Here we've got an entire list of frequently asked questions that we think you may find useful. We've curated this list and we've put it down here. Should you have questions over and above what is here, just go ahead and click on reply and send us a question. So I've opened this on purpose in a private browsing window so that it would look like what it would for you. So once you sign up, the feature of being able to reply will come, and that's where you put comments like Ashok has just put a question over here. So send us your questions here and your comments here, and you should be able to get help from us. And if you would like to see this video again, we've also given you a link to this YouTube recording. You can go over all of that there as well. So please go to community.openweaver.org to access everything that you may need, the contest page, how you can create a Candy submission kit, some sample questions that you may would like to take a look at, sample submissions, as well as our challenge FAQs.
Thank you so much, Smita. Would you also please show people how to download the badge once?
Absolutely. So if you go to the page, you can come down to the badge. You can either right click here and copy, or if you just open this up, there is a button down here where you can download the badge and it will get downloaded right there. So this is the main page that has been live all this while. And from this page, you can click to now redirect to the contest page. Yeah. We will also put up the badge on the contest page for everybody who'd like to download it from here. But this is your one-stop destination for everything that you may need for this challenge. So please be sure to sign up on the platform to be able to access the chat function as well as the chat function primarily. So this is an overview of the challenge, everybody. The challenge is now live, community.openweaver.com. Please head there and we will be happy to help you. We're also happy to take any other questions that we may have. Amrita, for that, I'd request you to let us know if we have the time, and also if there are some questions we should focus on.
I think it's best that we all answer the questions in the platform itself so that it remains in record for everybody. However, I will take another 5 minutes. This is not it only in terms of the knowledge sharing session that it is. And we have something very exciting for everybody who's joined us today. NASSCOM is providing everybody another free learning opportunity as well. We have the 3rd edition of the NASSCOM Experience AI Virtual Summit, which will be on the 9th and 10th of August. The theme of the summit is Making AI Real. At the summit, the entire AI ecosystem will come together to discuss building, regulating, and implementing the necessary things for creating the large-scale impact. It will also help you develop and plan for a career in AI. So please do attend this. I will be sharing the link in the chat section. It is a free to attend 2-day session. Sridevi, would you please also chime in and talk about the session once on the Experience AI while I post the link?
Right. That's going to be, the real experience of what is AI all about. And this is going to be a place where you will directly have to hear from the AI exponents of the IT industry coming forward and giving you insights of what to expect and what to experience in AI. One of the best of the series that is available for everyone. We would request all of you to definitely attend the Experience AI session as well, event as well. Back to you, Amrita.
Thank you so much, Sridevi. Thanks a lot. Shmita, anything else that we can cover right now? Or we should let everybody get down to business?
Yeah, I think, yes. There are some questions about the submission form not being open. The submission form will open in some time. I think you still have some time to go through the instructions, check out the starter kit, prepare the answers. The questions are already there in the contest page. So the submission form will be open in a bit. Do not worry about that. You have until 6 p.m. tomorrow Indian time to make your submissions. Should you have any questions, please do come to community.openweaver.com to seek our support, ask us questions, but also participate and be sure to make your submissions and download that beautiful badge we have for you. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Amrita. Thank you, Sridevi. Thank you, Smita.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. But lastly, I would like to leave with you the words. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. And the willingness to learn is a choice. Let's together make the choice and help grow together on FutureSkills Prime. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you once again.
Thank you.